Ladies and gentlemen, excellencies, you know who my guest is. He's one of the founders of one of the biggest companies in Japan and globally. So it's a pleasure to begin this conversation with Miki. Miki, ironically, we were just using AI on one of your platforms on Viber just before we came on. How many Nobel Prize winners are there in Japan versus Ireland? But we will come back to that question in just a moment.
Yeah.
Give our audience just a perspective. You said to me, Manis, to join Rakuten is probably one of the hardest companies in the world now to get a job inside Japan, and one of the most sought after. Why? What makes you a digital excellence, a destination for Gen Z?
Well, definitely, Japan has been enjoying its manufacturing excellency. We have been making good products like a Toyota or Sony or some materials. But now the world is going through this transformation. Everything is going to change. And Japan has been very, very consistent, quality, quality, quality. But it's now time we have to change. Not only retail, but also everything will be transformed. And we are the believer, we are the trailblazer of the transformation. We are very global. For example, internal communication language of Rakuten, I changed from Japanese to English 9 years ago. There was a huge, criticism against us when I said, Mikitani is crazy. All these big CEOs attack me. This is going to completely fail. But we are not afraid of making a mistake. We are the challenger. We are entrepreneurs. So that's why all these young, talented people wanted to join Rakuten.
You don't strike me as a billionaire that's crazy. That's one of the joys of meeting people that are entrepreneurs. When we're here to talk to this audience about digital transformation and what it can do for businesses, you run multiple businesses from e-commerce to football to fintech. Where is transformation, digital transformation, most accelerated right now?
Well, everything is changing, right? Obviously, the fintech, the fiat currency, the printed bills and coins will disappear sooner or later. The AI will basically take over many, many things, whether you like it or not. Obviously, when we're talking about e-commerce, it's not just about buying online. All these in-store experience will be digitized. And one of the big projects we're working on is really transforming a wireless network, which is going to be very, very important. The smartphones, your wearable devices, it is not going to be just a device to talk or messaging. It is going to become part of your brain. It is becoming your self-publishing platform. So it is probably one of the most important things for many, many people, I think.
I mean, the zeitgeist at the moment is people are obsessed with ChatGPT, with AI. It's probably one of the most read stories on the Bloomberg terminal. You and I have just used your AI. The infancy of AI within Rakuten is within Viber. What do you think AI will do for you? What are we not getting in this audience at the moment?
Well, obviously, when we talk about ChatGPT, the format is very different from what we thought, right?
Yeah.
It is very conversational. It's not like search on Google. You talk with your smartphone, and then smartphone will give you the answer, like what human would explain to you. So the interface is going to be more natural, right? So that's very important. And then many people think, okay, now university students, they don't need to write essay anymore because ChatGPT will write your essay. But this is already happening. Maybe some of you don't know, but your kids are doing this, so whether you like it or not. And they are very clever. They're saying, okay, I don't want my professor to know I am using ChatGPT. So I was talking to one, Japanese Chinese girl yesterday, and she said she's gonna do this question on Google AI or ChatGPT in Japanese and get the answer, and then translate it into Chinese with a computer. And then they will not know whether they use ChatGPT or not. So kids are getting very, very smart about this.
I think what you've got to be confident is that ChatGPT didn't create the questions for the next 10 minutes and then create something which which we're both unsure about. When you set out on this vision to create Rakuten, you said that you had a social idea. You look around your peers now, and some of them are retiring. Are you still full of ambition and drive to step up Rakuten? You're more involved in the telecoms business now. Are you anywhere near retirement?
Well, when I started the business, I kind of pledged when our transaction volume reached to $10 billion, I am going to retire. Now our transaction volume is over like almost 300 billion US dollars globally. But I have two big projects, moonshots in our hand. One is transform wireless connectivity. Why? Because you have your smartphone, but it is connected to your wireless network. And wireless network has been and still is dominated by legacy hardwares. Either it's a Huawei or Samsung or Ericsson or Nokia. And this is wrong, in my opinion. It has to become something like more or less like a Wi-Fi. And it has to be cheaper because so much money are taken by wireless connectivity companies because it's so legacy.
But you would say it's about virtualization. So
Yeah.
in other words, it's beyond the handset in our hands.
Yes.
So just explain what you mean by virtualization.
Okay. So I used to be a banker, right? Commercial banker. And 25 years ago, many people told me, you cannot do banking service on Unix server. It has to be a mainframe, big computer. Now I have the biggest online bank in Asia, maybe, like with 40 million accounts. And everything is working on Unix. Everything IT platform has been formed and becoming more software-oriented, more crowd-oriented. But the one big sector which has not gone through this is telecom and wireless. And why is that? Is because the industry is oligopolized by 4 or 5 players, and there is no incentive to move it that way, right? If you think about internet platform, it's a crowd. Either it's a AWS or Google Cloud or Microsoft Azure. Everything is moving to the cloud. But this is not happening for the mobile industry. So we questioned why. And then we were crazy enough to take this challenge 4 years ago. And I think because of Rakuten, now industries started to talk about open radio access network. Everybody thought this is kind of a joke 5 years ago. When I talk with the big CEOs, big telecom companies, hey, good luck, Mickey, you're going to fail. But fortunately, more than 400,000 radios are connected to our network in Japan on the virtualized network. So this is the future. Obviously, device algorithm like ChatGPT is important, but we have to re-optimize wireless network, and the future of wireless network is going to be virtualized. Virtualized meaning it will be working as if it's internet and working on the software.
The technology industry is having a rough time at the moment, and that's a very broad term in terms of developers, in terms of people involved in that industry being let go, and job losses. Do you see that as an opportunity for you to pick up talent that can help you grow the telecoms and the tech business, the tech side, the pure tech side of Rakuten?
Yeah, we are seeing many people joining from big hyperscalers like Google, Amazon, because we are different. And what is most important is the data, not the quantity of data, but the quality of data. We're the biggest e-commerce company in Japan. Mm-hmm. We are the biggest credit card company in Japan. We are the biggest travel agency in Japan. We are the biggest online brokerage firm, and almost 1/3 of Japanese people come to our website and do some transactions. So we have online data and offline data. So this is the unique of a set of data. And whenever you talk about AI or data science, you have to have good data. And we have a very good data, which is very, very attractive, thing for these super intelligent data scientists and AI engineers. So that's why many people, even in the Silicon Valley, are moving to Rakuten.
Japan is in transition, political transition. Abenomics, it has been a period of time of where women have been in power, bringing women into the economy. We're very cognizant of what Abenomics is. You have a new prime minister. You have a new economic paradigm at the central bank. How do you think things are going to change in Japan? Do you think Kishida is very pro-business for you?
That was one of the topic I wanted to avoid, but
well, it's Bloomberg. You get asked tough questions. Go on, give it a go.
Well, obviously, Abe-san was a great leader. He was my good friend. The day after I visited the sad thing happened, I visited his house. I was one of his advisors, and he made a big transition.
Yeah.
Japanese economy was going down. Nikkei was at the bottom. He brought it up. I think Kishida-san needs to become a little bit more aggressive, right? He has to really think about the future, not to try to keep the harmony. Disruption will make a little bit disruptive society in a short term, but that's the transformation stage we need to go through. So I hope, including monetary policies and everything, I think not just listening to the people, but he has to have the vision where we want to go. We cannot just depend 100% on just manufacturing and assembly industry. We have to become the leader of the digital economy. We need to have more challengers, more entrepreneurs like myself. And that's something I hope Mr. Kishida will, kind of embrace and lead.
You are an entrepreneur, and you were sort of an evangelist for your business across the businesses. Is Japan society, and you hire the youth of Japan, you hire even people my age in Japan, is society in Japan ready for another jolt? Because Abenomics was a jolt. It was an economic jolt. Kishidanomics, what really needs to be jolt? You said he needs to sort of give the tree a bit of a shake. Well, you as an entrepreneur, what do you want to see him shake?
So I'll give one example. 9 years ago, I changed internal communication language of Rakuten from Japanese to English. I thought all these senior people will probably quit my company because they cannot really do it. But surprisingly, the first generation who really mastered speaking English was the senior people. They had a pride in themselves, and they challenged it. So you have to really trust, not to just protect them. You have to show the vision, and you need to trust your people that this is going to be a good thing. That's something Japan is becoming, in a short expression, too socialist. I think we have to believe in capitalism. We have to believe in the future, and we need to build the future. And he has to show what the future is going to be.
I think Elon Musk was with the audience this morning, and he talked about Twitter as being a startup in reverse. We covered that extensively when he was on air from here. You're a man of moonshots. You're a man of ambition. Where's the next moonshot? What do you want to buy? If I said to you, what could you buy? What business could you buy that you just can't get your hands on?
I don't have any. My hands are full with this very big, project for mobile industry transformation. Move away and wake up all these telecoms. Don't go to the traditional legacy path. Let's move to the future. This is what I did for e-commerce 25 years ago. We have to virtualize. We cannot really depend on hardware for wireless network. So that's a very big project, and I need to become an evangelist for that. And the other one is, I need another 15 minutes to talk about this, but I have another biotech company, which is to conquer the cancer, and we want to be very active in Middle East.
Miki-san, thank you very much for being with the World Government Summit today.
Thank you.